some of them at least. We're going to bring in next guest, Congressman Brian Babin of Texas. Sir, you've tweeted your support for the president. You want to give us a lay of the land as you see it, sir?
Well, you know, the American people want to have a fair, transparent, and open election. And we don't feel like that's happened here. There's too many anomalies. We've got over 400 sworn affidavits from witnesses who have witnessed things like postmasters stamping mail and with the previous mail-in ballots for the previous date, and witnessing boxes coming in at all hours of the night after the election. The polls have closed. These are the kind of things that I think people want to get answers to. We've got this Dominion voting systems, which my state of Texas rejected and criticized, and we've got a lot of anomalies and suspicions there. And quite frankly, I think if things go the way they should go, I think the president's going to have his day in court, and I believe we can still win this thing, and our great republic will go on forth with free and fair elections that will allow that to happen, a democracy to continue.
Congressman, why did the state of Texas reject Dominion in terms of using their voting system?
Well, I've read the report, and I don't pretend to be an IT specialist, but I can tell you it looked like there was just too much room for human error. And for maybe human error on purpose. We don't know exactly what was going through their minds at the time, because this was a report from 2019. This was last year, over a year ago. And we just didn't feel like, obviously, the IT specialists that were doing the examinations here didn't feel like it was something that could be trustworthy.
Did you have rallies yourself? We're looking at some video of some people getting together. Tell us about those, sir.
We had a number of rallies. We had at least two, we had three in our district. One of my neighbors, Kevin Brady, had a big one in his district. I attended one yesterday in Baytown, Texas, which is a town just in Harris County, or just outside of Houston. Hundreds of people showed up. 3 days before that, we had one in kind of the central part of my district in Hardin County. We had close to 1,000 people show up to that one. And there's still a lot of folks that believe that this president, there's no way that he could have lost. When we see that, and this is another thing, we have so many of these hundreds of thousands of votes that came in that were mail-in or somehow brought in a box, and only voted for a single, a race. Only voted for Joe Biden. No down race ballots. No down ballot races were checked at all. And that gives you a little bit of a suspicion. And so there's just a lot of answers that need to be given to the American people. We've had a great run for this republic for 244 years, and the thing that keeps our democracy working and a free republic is open and free and transparent elections. And if we don't have the assurance of that, I don't have to tell you what the consequences of that might be in terms of the survival of our great country.
Yeah. Congressman, what are your constituents saying to you there? We were just seeing videos of some of the rallies there in the great state of Texas. What have they said to you in reference to whether or not they, in fact, want this process to continue to play out, these investigations to go on, and everyone to kind of step back and wait and do these recounts, perhaps, hopefully, some audits as well, to determine if, in fact, who is, in fact, the President of the United States?
Absolutely. And what we're hearing, my constituents, by the hundreds and thousands, are communicating with me not to give up, continue to support free and open elections, make sure that our votes are counted and counted properly, and only legal votes are counted. And I'll tell you something else. COVID was misused, I should say. Because of COVID, a lot of the election law was changed. I'll give you a little example. H.R. 1, a bill that was the first bill introduced by Nancy Pelosi that would have given really the federal takeover of our election system. We rejected it in the Senate. I voted against it in the House. Of course, we were in the minority, and it passed anyway there, but it didn't go through. When COVID hit, Democratic lawyers filed lawsuits in liberal activist courtrooms, and we wound up having drive-through voting. We had voter rolls that were keyed to federal databases. We had time. They gave more time to turn ballots in, all in the name and excuse of COVID. And quite frankly, I don't think that it was a fair election. And I think that everybody telling them they don't give up, Congressman, don't give up. We believe that this is too important. America's very survival counts on open, free, and fair elections.
Congressman, the stuff behind you is Houston Mission Control. Is that in your district?
And it sure is. I proudly represent Johnson Space Center and Mission Control, which has been busy here in the last couple of days.
What's your favorite thing up there on the wall?
My favorite thing, how about these SL? You know, my favorite thing, when you look back here behind me, I'm going to get my head out of the way. You see that picture with the stars in the way?
Wow.
Yep.
This is called the Deep Field View. It was taken by the Hubble telescope in an area that they had not, they thought it was empty in a complete vacuum.
Yeah.
They had a timed exposure which showed those are not stars. Those are thousands and thousands of galaxies in an area of the universe that we thought nothing was in. So that just tells you there's a God in heaven. He made this, and you know what? We hope the good prevails, and I think it shows the majesty of our Lord when you look at a picture like that.
I love it. Thank you for sharing that, sir.
Yeah.
Absolutely, Bob. Thank you all very much.
Okay, Congressman Brian Babin, thank you very much.
Amazing. Truth comes to light when you